Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is the Anime Man. You know, it's that time of year again, ladies and gentlemen. You can tell from the title, we're here, back at it again. Let's talk about the Crunchyroll Anime Awards. Yes, it is back. Third time in a row. The lovely folks over at Crunchyroll have yet again done an anime awards thing. Third year in a row, as I said. Last 2 years I've made a video on, but this year I thought we'd do something a little bit different. Now, usually when I do videos on the Crunchyroll Anime Awards, it's after the results are already finished, and I give my thoughts on not just the nominations, but also the winners. But I figured I would actually talk about the nominations before they announce the winners. I believe they announce the winners a month from now, and I will actually be live streaming my reaction over on Twitch, twitch.tv/theanimeman. Go check that shit out if you want to join in on the fun. We had a lot of fun last year. But I have a bit of a confession to make with this one. In 2018, I didn't watch a whole lot of anime. Yeah, I know, it's weird. What the fuck? And because I didn't watch a whole lot of anime, I thought I wouldn't really be qualified, at least of this year, as much as the last few years, to give my full thoughts on everything, like, you know, winners and everything. So this year, I figured I would just go through some of the nominations and I guess, you know, critique and analyze the choices for the nominations, who I think is going to win, and also some of the perks and problems that I see with this year's Crunchyroll Anime Awards. So here we are on the page right now. We have an ad for Devil May Cry 5. Cool, I guess. And as you can see, 2019 voting is now open. Voting is easier than ever. Tap a category, select your pick to win, then hit confirm. Okay, yeah, cool. So we already have the nominations in this year, so let's go through them. We have Best Protagonist, Best Antagonist, Best Boy, Best Girl, Best Opening Sequence, Best Ending Sequence, Best VA Performance Japan, Best VA Performance English, Best Director, Best Animation, Best Film, Best Character Design, and Anime of the Year. And we also have two sponsored categories, Best Fight Scene presented by Capcom, and Best Continuing Series presented by Verve. Alright, first and foremost, as we can probably tell, there are a few new categories this year, especially these two right here, Best VA Performance and Best VA Performance Japan and English. We didn't have that last year, but, you know, I'm gonna give credit where it's due. I think that was a great choice for Crunchyroll to do, you know, give some love to not just the Japanese voice actors who really make, you know, every single anime come to life, but also some of the dub voice actors. Like, hell yeah, Crunchyroll, good choice. And another new one here is Best Director. We didn't really have this one last year. We had like Best like Fight Scene and like Best Animation, stuff like that. I mean, we have Best Animation this year, but I think they got rid of Best Fight Scene this year. Oh no, it's the presented, it's the the sponsored one. Never mind then. But Best Director, that was an interesting choice when I saw that. I was like, wow, okay. Well, it's really going to depend on the nominations, so we'll see how it goes. But let's go through each of the categories, go through each of the nominations, and I'll give my thoughts on the choices for the nominations and also who I think is going to win within those nominations. So let's start with Best Protagonist. We have Retsuko from Agretsuko, Yumeko Jabumi from Kakegurui, we have Joe from Megalobox, Violet from Violet Evergarden, Rimuru from That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, and Sakuta from Bunny Girl Senpai. Okay, that's a very interesting choice. I find it an interesting choice, especially that the first one that we see is a Netflix original, Retsuko from Agretsuko. Retsuko from Agretsuko, that really rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? Look, in all honesty, out of these 6 series, and again, I didn't watch all of these series, I didn't watch That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, as much as y'all motherfuckers were stressing me the fuck out to watch the actual show. I didn't actually have time to watch it this year, but every other one I did watch, and I would have to give my vote to either Retsuko from Agretsuko or Sakuta from Bunny Girl Senpai. With Bunny Girl Senpai, I think I much prefer Sakurajima Mai as a character rather than Sakuta, but Sakuta was a really interesting character, especially in Bunny Girl Senpai. I mean, I gave my thoughts on Bunny Girl Senpai in its own dedicated video, links in the description if you haven't checked that out. But Retsuko as well was just such an amazing protagonist. Like, she was just the perfect representation of that show's message of, you know, the whole fact that in Japan, you know, work culture is stressing people out, and just the simplest things are just the biggest struggles for some people in life. And Retsuko's character was funny, she was really engaging, her character development was awesome for a show such as this. And that's not to say that, you know, I hated Jabami or Joe or Violet. I just think that Retsuko and Sakuta were just much better in terms of character development. I am honestly surprised though that Joe is in here from Megalobox. I think this year they're really, Crunchyroll for some reason is really pushing for Megalobox. I have no idea why. I mean, hell yeah, Megalobox was an amazing show, don't get me wrong, but just, I don't know, the amount that they're pushing for Megalobox seems like, it seems a little bit like forced, like hipster forced, like, it's like Crunchyroll saying like, yeah, we watched some of the underdog shows as well this year, don't worry, but then instead of really diversifying all of the categories, they just fucking threw in Megalobox just for the sake of it. But I don't know, we're gonna have to see through the other nominations. At least for me though, Sakuta and Retsuko are probably my nominations for Best Protagonist. Alright, let's go Best Antagonist. We have Dior from Devil May Cry Baby, Akane from Gridman, All for One, My Hero Academia, of course, Yuri from Megalobox, again, another Megalobox. That's so interesting. Tokushiro from Golden Kamui, and Momonga from Overlord. Okay, first of all, I'm pretty sure Momonga is the protagonist? I mean, I guess he is like an evil protagonist, so technically speaking it would be antagonist, but like every other entry in this category is like the villain of the show, you know, whereas Momonga is like, yes, he has villainous tendencies in the show, but he's not exactly the villain. He's not the bad guy that we, you know, have to see defeated at the end of the show. I'm gonna stick to my guns here, and I'm giving my nomination to Ryo from Devil May Cry Baby because he is an incredible protagonist, antagonist, excuse me. I mean, just the fact that, you know, him in the show, it really goes from like a good guy all the way up until like the most villainous of villainous, and I'm not going to give away it, you know, what happens at the end of the show exactly because it's fucked up. But you know, Ryo's development from good guy to bad guy, and the way that he was able to transition so smoothly throughout all of that is fucking astounding. So I'm probably going to give my vote to Dior. But, you know, I mean, Yuri, again, yes, great character, absolutely amazing antagonist. But it's like, wow. I'm just surprised that so far, there have been more nominations for Megalobox characters than My Hero Academia characters. It looks like Crunchyroll has learned their lesson from last year's My Hero Academia awards. Alright, let's go Best Boy. We have Kotaro from Zombieland Saga, Honda-san from Skullface Bookseller Honda-san. That's a great choice. Okay, Deku from My Hero Academia, of course. Sakuta from Bunny Girl Senpai. Haida from Agretsuko, again, great choice. And Joe from Megalobox. Again with the Megalobox. Why is there so much fucking Megalobox this year, bro? Like, I get it. Like, great show, don't get me wrong, but it's like, man, they're really pushing for Megalobox. You know, obviously, like, this is Crunchyroll, and we know the main demographic of Crunchyroll is only really using Crunchyroll just for fucking My Hero Academia, so it's gonna be Deku. Let's be real. If Deku doesn't win, then it's gonna be some kind of rigged shit, I guarantee it. I am pretty happy, though, that they put Honda-san in. Like, he is a great fucking character. Like, Skullface Bookseller Honda-san is a lovely little show. I haven't finished it, personally, but great fucking show. I haven't seen Zombieland Saga either, but I've heard Kotaro is a interesting character. And again, with Sakuta, like, it's hard to dictate a best boy in that show. Like, there are so many best girls in that show. But best boy, I wouldn't really count Sakuta as, like, the best boy. He's definitely more of, like, in a neutral setting when it comes to popularity between male and female in the show, I feel. And I personally fucking love Haida. Like, he was such a good boy. Like, him trying to, like, confess his love and, like, confess his feelings towards Retsuko in that show is just so fucking adorable. So I'm personally going to give my vote to Haida from Agretsuko, but just because I have such, like, a huge, like, respect for that show. Like, that's such a fucking awesome show. So my vote goes to Haida. Alright, we have Best Girl. Now this is the waifu awards here. This is fucking important, so let's check it out. We have Anzu from Hinamatsuri, we have Hinata Miyako from A Place Further in the Universe, we have Lily from Zombieland Saga, we have Usurper from Golden Kamui, we have Nadeshiko from Laid Back Camp or Yudu Camp, and we have Sakurajima Mai from Bunny Girl Senpai. Okay, these were all, like, easily, like, seen. You know what's really interesting, though, is the lack of Dika from Gridman. Like, wasn't everyone all over her when she was first, like, introduced in Gridman? Like, again, I haven't finished all of Gridman, but we know how much hype those quote-unquote thick thighs got this year. So I'm really surprised that Dika isn't in the list for Best Girl. And, I mean, look, so many of y'all motherfuckers over on my Twitter, shameless plug, were harassing the shit out of me essentially about this shit right here. Lily from Zombieland Saga and her being in the best girl category. Look, you know what? I'm not gonna fucking get into that shit. Like, I am not prepared to bring up some kind of debate about that shit, because regardless of which way I fall in this situation, I'm going to lose, right? Someone's gonna get annoyed at me, so you know what? I recognize the problem exists, but I am not going to touch upon it, okay? Like, you guys are free to do that over on Twitter and fucking subreddit of anime and, you know, the comments of this video if you would like to. Please start a war in the comments in the video. But your boy ain't gonna be involved in this fight, okay? But I recognize that, yes, it is a supposedly, you know, big problem for a lot of people, and I get it, you know, I get it. I totally get it. But I'm not gonna give my thoughts on it whatsoever. All I am gonna say, though, is that I'm gonna probably give my vote to Sakurajima Mai or Nadeshiko. Fucking love Nadeshiko. I love all the characters in Yuta Camp, actually. That was such a cute little show. But Sakurajima Mai, she was absolutely awesome in that show. She really was the driving force in that show, and I absolutely loved it. So I'm giving my vote to Sakurajima Mai. Alright, we have best opening sequence. Now, I know this one also got a little bit of controversy over on Twitter, so let's see. We have the opening to Odakoi, Darling in the Franxx, Kakegurui, Pop Team Epic, Agretzko, and JoJo Part 5. I'm so fucking happy that Pop Team Epic and Agretzko are on there, because both of those openings are fucking fire, my boys. But where is the Koku opening? Crunchyroll, you done it again. That opening was so fucking awesome. Everybody loved the shit out of it. It was one of the only reasons why people just continued to watch Koku, let's be real. Did they not get the memo with that shit? Like, the fact that everyone on the internet was fucking going crazy for that opening? Like, did they not get the memo for that? I mean, I'm just glad that at least JoJo Part 5 is on there. You gotta give some love to JoJo, alright? But my vote is probably gonna go to either Agretzko or Pop Team Epic. Agretzko because it's a fucking metal. It's a fucking, like, hardcore metal song with a cute little fucking red panda, like, just dancing along to it. It's one of the best fucking openings ever. And I mean, Pop Team Epic, like, that opening, like, is still played, like, on radio and, like, in, you know, shops and stuff like that here in Japan way after it finished airing. So it's a great song. Absolutely awesome. I'm not just saying that just because I was in the show or anything, wink wink, but, you know, it's a great show, so great opening. So I'm giving my vote to Pop Team Epic and Agretzko. Alright, best ending sequence. We have Megalobox, Attack on Titan Season 3, After the Rain, Fully Coolly Alternative, Review Starlight, and Fully Coolly Progressive. Okay, the fact that there are 2 Fully Coolly entries there, I don't think is a little bit fair, personally. You know, and that's not me hating on Fully Coolly. Like, fuck. Pillows is incredible band. I saw them live. Fucking amazing band. And I'm so happy that they came back to do the soundtrack for this stuff. But I feel that they should have just kept it to one ending per franchise, just to keep everything fair, in my opinion. Personally, though, I am going to give it to Fully Coolly Progressive's ending, Spiky Seeds by The Pillows, because that song is fucking fire, my boys. And I'm also surprised that the Attack on Titan Season 3 ending was put in rather than the opening. Yes, like, the opening was a lot slower, and you know, a lot of people were saying, like, oh, the opening kind of sounds like the ending, it's a little bit weird, but I actually, like, really enjoyed the change of pace. And, you know, again, Megalobox being in here, like, I get it, you know, opening and ending for Megalobox was fucking awesome, but I feel more than anything, the one thing that Megalobox really needs the attention for is the soundtrack. Like, the soundtrack within the show. And I've actually noticed, and some of you guys may have noticed, that in the case with Megalobox, I feel that that was the one thing that it needed the recognition for, was the soundtrack. Yes, the opening and ending are great, but the entire soundtrack is what really gave that really vintage feel of Megalobox and the really, like, hardcore, like, epicness to that show. But, you know, I get it, you gotta put some more Megalobox in because fucking Crunchyroll are really pushing for Megalobox for some reason. But personally, I'm gonna give it to Fully Coolly Progressive because Spiky Seeds is fucking awesome. Alright, let's go best VA performance Japan. We have Mamoru Miyano from Zombieland Saga, Saito Soma, we have Han Megumi, we have Toyama Nao, we have Rareko, and we have Ueda Reina. Well, first of all, I didn't know Miyano Mamoru voiced this character because, again, I haven't watched Zombieland Saga, and Miyano Mamoru is like legendary voice actor, right? Everything that man does is fucking spot on, right? So that's cool. I do like the fact that they added Hum Megumi though from Devil May Cry Baby. I feel Miki's character was also really fucking important to the progression of Devil May Cry Baby, and you know, like what happens to her if you've actually seen the show and everything, right? So her performance was absolutely awesome. But again, I'm gonna have to give it to Retsuko. Like, Rareko, I've never heard her do any other performance, and her voice, her Japanese voice, was so fucking good. Like, her impression of like this Retsuko character and like the way that her voice just fit this character and this art style so fucking well, I loved it. I immediately fell in love with her voice. So I'm giving it personally to either Hum Megumi, because she's an amazing voice actress, or Rareko, because I feel that she is a seriously rising star in terms of Japanese voice acting, and I definitely want to see her. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's going to be an Agretsuko season 2, which I'm pretty fucking excited for, so I want to see her more in that shit. Alright, and we have Best VA Performance English. We have Carrie Walgren from Haruko, Christopher Sabat, the legend. We have Erica Mendez from Retsuko, David Wald, which is the narrator of Mr. Tonegawa. Wow, that's an interesting entry right there. We have Tia Ballard with 02, and Erica Harlacher from Violet Evergarden. I'm sorry if I mispronounce any of these names. I honestly have never heard of any of these people, except the Mr. Sabat, the legend. Okay, first of all, I'm gonna give my votes personally to either Carrie Walgren or Erica Mendez. Erica Mendez, you know, Retsuko, the English voice for Retsuko as well. I watched Agretsuko both sub and dub, and they're both amazing. Like, both sub and dub, that show is fucking spot on. And the same goes with Fully Coolly Progressive. I mean, Haruko's voice in Fully Coolly, the dub and the sub, are just so fucking distinct. And I'm really surprised, actually, that the dub for Fully Coolly's voice got nominated more than the sub, because I actually really like the sub for Fully Coolly as well. But now that I think about it, it kind of does make sense, because Fully Coolly was first released in dub, or Fully Coolly Progressive was first released as a dub on Adult Swim before the sub came out, weirdly enough. So I feel that more people have the image of Fully Coolly Progressive in its dub, so I'm guessing that's why Carrie Walgreen is there. But her voice as well is fucking awesome, so perfect for Haruko, and I gotta give it to these two. As much as I love my man Christopher Sabat, you legend, I love you, you know, I have to give it to Carrie Walgreen or Erica Mendez. Absolutely awesome work on both of those. Alright, up next we have Best Director. Now this is the one that a lot of people were kind of confused with, as was I. But let's go through the nominations first. We have Masaki Yuasa from Devil May Cry Baby, Ishizuka Atsuko, we have Moriyama Yo, Suzuki Yohei, Ichidate Taichi, and Utsumi Hiroko. I'm giving my vote to Masaki Yuasa. The man, the legend. Everything that man directs is a fucking masterpiece. And if you haven't seen a bunch of Masaki Yuasa stuff, then please do so. He's an incredible director. Everything he does is awesome. Again, I'm really fucking surprised about this shit right here with Megalobox, Moriyama Yo. I don't know any other things that Moriyama Yo did, but, you know, Megalobox was really fucking well directed, you have to admit. And I'm also going to say the same thing with Banana Fish as well. That was an absolutely incredibly directed show. But here's the one thing, or the one problem I have with putting this new category in, is that I feel that the anime watchers, the otakus, who do dive really like head deep into these kinds of behind the scenes roles, like directors, like screenwriters, like, you know, animation directors, voice directors and stuff like that, is that I feel that the majority of people who are into that kind of stuff are the people who don't really use Crunchyroll. And by that, I mean that the majority of people who are into that kind of stuff are the people who are into stuff like Sakuga, or are into stuff like, you know, studios and like how they're built, and are like the real hardcores, which I feel is the complete opposite of the mostly casual anime watcher demographic that Crunchyroll encompasses, and, you know, is basically what the anime awards are made for. And what's also really interesting is that they didn't put any directors of movies that came out. Yes, we have a best film category for these awards, but I don't know why they stuck only to TV directors and not movie directors, because I feel more people will know about anime movie directors than they do anime TV directors, you know? I thought that was a really interesting choice from Crunchyroll. I mean, again, like, the only people I know in this list, personally, is Masaki Yuasa and Utsumi Hiroko. I don't know any of these other directors. I have heard of Ishizuka Art School, but I couldn't tell you what she's done, per se. You know, that's a really interesting choice, and I feel that when people go through this nomination and don't know a single director, right, they're going to judge it on the quality of the show. They're not really going to judge it on and look back and think, oh yeah, this show kind of had a shitty story, but it was really well directed. You know what I mean? Like, I feel people are just going to be like, oh, it's a good show, so it must have been well directed, which isn't always the case. So, this was a really interesting entry that I feel. I mean, I get it. You gotta give something that the Sakugatards and the hardcore otakus are gonna fucking froth at the mouth over, but it was just a really interesting choice of the category itself and the nominations. But I'm giving my vote to Masaki Yuasa. Legend. Alright, up next we have Best Animation. So we have Violet Evergarden, Devil May Cry Baby, Megalobox, Place Further in the Universe, Bloom Into You, and My Hero Academia Season 3. Now, see, this makes a little more sense. More people are into studios than they are directors, you know? So, it's basically, the best animation category is basically like best studio category. So if Kyoto Animation, Science Saru, TMS Entertainment, Madhouse, Troika, and Bones. I'm going to guess that the winner is going to be this shit right here. Studio Bones' fucking grand opus, if you will. Although, I feel that A Place Further in the Universe is also gonna have a pretty fucking good chance of winning, because everything Madhouse does is, like, legendary. Like, so many people know Madhouse. And also, you know, Violet Evergarden and Devil May Cry Baby. I feel, you know, Kyoto Animation usually does a really fucking good job with their directing and animation work. Even though the directors may change, the animation is always consistent with Kyoto Animation. And, I mean, Devil May Cry Baby, like, Science Saru, the studio itself, is not really well known. More people knew Devil May Cry Baby because it was a Masaki Yuasa directed work rather than a Science Saru studio work. I feel that, again, this is really going to be dependent on, at least for the general audience, on how good was the show in general, how memorable was the show in general. And I feel that, you know, Violet Evergarden, Devil May Cry Baby, Place Further in the Universe, and My Hero Academia are probably going to be the ones in the running. I feel Megalobox and Bloom Into You, which was an interesting choice. I mean, like, I don't really even like a lot of Troika's stuff, so it was kind of weird that they put that show in. Again, I don't know, I haven't seen this show, so maybe Troika really, like, fucking nailed it on the head with this one and just happened to bring out a masterpiece. But everything that Troika has done hasn't been the most amazing thing ever. And Megalobox as well is, like, I don't know why, they're really pushing for Megalobox this year. Really pushing for, like, I think Megalobox has almost been in every single category so far, which is incredible. I never thought that Megalobox would be the show that Crunchyroll was gonna froth at the mouth over. So somebody at Crunchyroll really fucking loves Megalobox, and shout out to you if that's the case. Like, Megalobox is a great show, but they're really pushing for it this year, and they're really holding back on My Hero Academia this year. So it looks like they've really learned their lesson from last year's awards. But yeah, again, I'm gonna probably give it to these four right here. It's gonna be one of these four. If Megalobox and Bloom Into You somehow wins, then
I might as well just quit YouTube on the spot,
because I don't think they have any chance compared to these four shows. Alright, up next we have Best Film. So this is, again, going to be a very interesting choice. But let's look through. So we have Night is Short, Walk On Girl, another Masaki Yuasa movie, fucking fantastic. The My Hero Academia movie, which is probably going to win. Mirror of the Future, I'm glad that they're giving some love to Hosoda Momora's new movie. Like, I did a whole video on it, links in the description if you want to check it out. That was a fucking awesome movie from Hosoda Momora. Great movie. Liz and the Bluebird, I haven't actually watched it, but I've heard amazing things about it, so I definitely want to check it out. We have Mazinger Z Infinity, which was an interesting choice, because I didn't even know there was a Mazinger Z movie, but now that I know, I have to go check it out. And this shit. Who the f chose this shit? Who the f chose Fireworks as best movie. I mean, I did a video on it, and the title of my video was The Biggest Disappointment of 2017. Or I guess it came out 2018 for the rest of you guys. But who the f chose this? Who genuinely watched Fireworks and was like, damn, this is in the running for the best movie of the year? Make yourself. You know what should have replaced Fireworks? Makia. Where the f is Makia? I know so many people have probably already commented on this shit, but where the f is Makia? Okada Mari needs to be recognized. That movie needs to be recognized because that movie is fucking awesome. Like, if Fireworks was replaced with Makia, I would give my vote to Makia. That movie was fucking incredible. Cause like, Fireworks was just so hyped up, and it was literally just hyped up. It rode on the hype train because Dalko did the music for it, Shaft was doing the stuff for it, Shimbo was directing it, and all these big names were part of it. And the music was great, don't get me wrong, the music for that movie was awesome, but I feel that's the only thing it had for it. It had the visuals and the music, but just like the box looked really good, but the inside was just empty. Like, that movie was trash. I'm sorry, I just can't figure out who the f chose this shit. Like, I don't get it. And who the f is that on Makia? Please, just replace this shit with Makia and you have your film of the year. Because Makia's not on this list, I'm probably gonna give my vote to Mirror of the Future, in all honesty. And, you know, it probably doesn't help that I haven't seen the other 3 movies here. I've seen Night Shore Walk On Girl, fucking awesome movie. But Mirror of the Future, something about Mirror of the Future was just really fucking good. That was a movie that really fell under the radar for a lot of people, unfortunately. And, you know, it was a great movie because it was something new from Hosoda Momoru. It was a type of movie that you don't really see from a guy like Hosoda Momoru. I mean, the theming was definitely a lot more familiar to a lot of Hosoda Momoru's filmography, but the way that he actually directed it, the way that the visuals were encompassed within a very familiar storyline, was just really new for Hosoda Momoru. I feel he was really experimenting with this movie, and it came out pretty well, in my opinion, so I'm gonna give my vote to Mirror of the Future. Alright, up next we have Best Character Design. We have Violet Evergarden, Devilman Crybaby, Zombieland Saga, Megalobox, Agretzko, and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Golden Wind. I mean, you know, again, this is a really interesting one because I feel that most people are gonna feel like, who had the cutest girls? It's probably going to be Zombieland Saga. Or Agretzko. Maybe Agretzko. I don't know. This is probably the one category that I don't really see any problems with. I think all 6 of these nominations are pretty well justified. Violet Evergarden, absolutely beautiful. Devil May Cry Baby, I mean, it's Masaki. Zombieland Saga was super fucking popular when it was airing. Megalobox as well, super stylized and super gritty and raw and just perfect for the theming of the show. I mean, Agretzko, it's Sanrio, who are like the legends when it comes to character designs. And JoJo is fucking... it's JoJo. What can I say? It's fucking JoJo. So, I really don't know with this one. I mean, you know what? I'm probably gonna give it to Megalobox. In all honesty, I'm probably going to give it to Megalobox because it is the grittiest show here. It's either Megalobox or Devil May Cry Baby, but I feel like I've given Devil May Cry Baby too much love so far. So, you know what? Because Crunchyroll is pushing for Megalobox so fucking much this year, I'm going to give it to Megalobox. You know what? Megalobox, you have my vote this time. And last but not least, we have Anime of the Year. I think there are 10 nominations for Anime of the Year this year. So we have A Place Further Than the Universe, Devil May Cry Baby, Megalobox. Again, such a push for Megalobox. Jesus Christ. We have Violet Evergarden, Hinamatsuri, and Zombieland Saga. Oh, never mind, there are only 6. But you know what? Enough of the Megalobox shit. I'm just giving my shit Devil May Cry Baby. I mean, I said it at the start of the year. When I made the video on Devil May Cry Baby at the start of the year, I told myself this is probably going to be Anime of the Year. And if it does become Anime of the Year, then I might as well be a fucking soothsayer because I called that shit from over a year ago. And you know what's really interesting? Yet again, once again, this is how you know Crunchyroll have learnt their lesson. No My Hero Academia whatsoever. Amazing. They're really trying to like appease the hipsters by putting Megalobox and all of these shows that weren't as popular in the mainstream. They're like really trying to like be like the Academy and not just pick the popular vote, you know. So that's kind of hilarious to see. But, you know, it's also appreciative. I like the fact that Crunchyroll has learned their lessons and hopefully there isn't going to be as much of an uproar as last year. But again, I'm giving my shit to Devil May Cry Baby. Like, that shit was so good. It's so good! And let's look at the sponsored category. So, best fight scene. We have Hina vs. Anzu from Hinamatsuri. We have All for One versus All Might, My Hero Academia, which is probably gonna win, let's be real. Naruto and Sasuke versus Momoshiki from Boruto. Who the fuck watches Boruto? Jiren versus Goku from Dragon Ball Super. Yeah, all the DBZ tards are probably gonna vote for that. Yami versus Lich from Black Clover. Again, who's watching Black Clover? And Satan versus Devilman from Devil May Cry. Yep, that's getting my vote. I'm sorry, that's getting my vote. But of course, it's probably going to be fucking My Hero Academia, let's be real. So that's all I'm going to say on that one. And last but not least, we have Best Continuing Series, presented by Verve, the platform that no one fucking uses. We have The Ancient Mage's Bride. I didn't even know they were still going. We have Dragon Ball Super. Yeah, of course. Black Clover. Yeah, of course. Mars Comes In Like a Lion. Hey, that won last year, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. We have One Piece, because it's fucking One Piece, and we have Boruto. Who the fuck watches Boruto? I'm giving my vote, personally, to March Comes In Like a Lion. Great fucking show. Everything else, I couldn't really care about. And I don't know a single one of these judges. Who the fuck are these people? I'm sure everyone's nice, but interesting choice, Crunchyroll. And there you have it, guys. That is my thoughts on this year's Anime Awards. Again, I will be streaming my full reaction to the entire show over on my Twitch, so go follow me on Twitch if you haven't yet. I also do, like, unoccasional streams and stuff like that as well, so twitch.tv/theanimeman, go check that shit out. And I will see you guys on February 16th when this shit airs on Twitch live. But yeah, am I upset at this year's Crunchyroll Anime Awards? Am I gonna say that it sucks yet again, once again, for the third year in a row? Honestly, no. I feel Crunchyroll have really learned their lesson with this year's Crunchyroll Anime Awards. I feel that they've taken all of the complaints this year and all of the shit that happened from the last 2 years and have really, like, tried to diversify it as much as possible and try and really, like, appeal to the hipsters as much as possible, who, let's be real, were the ones who were complaining the last few years. But I also feel that they were overcompensating for those very same people. The fact that Megalobox is nominated for almost every single fucking category this year really goes to show that, like, they're really trying to appease the non-Crunchyroll audience who was basically laughing at them these last few years. So, you know, honestly, I don't know what's gonna win. It's gonna be really interesting to see what does win, but I'm excited for it. I'm excited for the salt to just come raining down from every single anime YouTuber from here on. But yeah, guys, let me know the nominations that you're gonna be voting for personally for each type of category, and do you see any other problems with this year's Crunchyroll Awards compared to the last couple of years? I'd love to know all your thoughts and all that shit down in the comments below. And again, I will see you all next month, where we will all come together to laugh and cry and get salty as all shit with every single otaku on this planet. In any case, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Like if if you enjoyed, subscribe from Rhino Banner. Keep watching anime. Ciao!